Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries, plus napkins, plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.
At Six Flags Fright Fest, fear is all around you. Some fear the heights, some the frights. But everyone shares the fear of missing out. Celebrate 30 chilling years of Fright Fest at Six Flags Great Adventure. Select nights September 8th through October 31st with 16 terrifying haunts, including 2 new haunted houses inspired by Saw X and The Conjuring. Fright Fest, presented by Snickers, is only here for a limited time, and nothing scarier than that. Visit sixflags.com to purchase tickets.
Welcome to Sugar-Coated Murder Podcast, a brilliant true crime podcast hosted by 2 zany sisters, all while baking up delicious treats in their kitchen. Here are your podcast hosts, Karen Devaney and Ann Varner.
Well, Sugar, OctoBoo did not go as planned.
It was an OctoBust.
It definitely was an OctoBust, no matter what we tried to do.
That is correct.
It was working against us.
And we watched the dang movie.
And scared the pants off each other, and for nothing.
For nothing.
No, because I forgot to set the microphone up, so the microphone was coming from the camera, which was halfway across the room.
And we were sometimes picking up the sound from the TV.
And sometimes, and not from us.
Right.
And then at other times, it was us and not the TV. It was a holy mess.
It was a mess.
So we have thrown in the towel on OctoBoo.
OctoBoo just didn't go.
We've put OctoBoo to bed.
Yes. It's gone. It's gone.
May he rest in peace.
Night-night.
So what we've decided to do is just throw in the towel and go back to our episodes as if it were even October.
It's the only thing we could do.
I agree. Because this is what we know. This we can do.
I mean, we can only hope.
Well, that's true. I mean, we're not at the end of the episode. I can look and see that I did press record.
That's good news.
So that's helpful. And it does seem to be recording.
That's amazing.
And it seems to be recording our voices. So right there, it's a trifecta of promising.
Yeah, I hope it stays. I hope it sticks. We'll see. We'll see. One never knows.
I agree. It's my turn to do a recipe and your turn to do a moida.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk about my recipe really quick.
You go right ahead.
We all need more protein.
It's true.
We all need more protein. We don't eat enough protein. We need more protein. And so I thought, why not do something with protein?
Yeah.
Protein. So what I did was I made some protein balls.
Everybody loves a ball.
And the extra protein in your ball never hurt anybody.
A pre-holiday season ball.
You're right.
Very good.
It is almost ball season.
It is.
So let's just ramp it up a little bit early.
Yeah.
And we're going to call this OctoBalls.
There you go. She's made OctoBalls.
So I'm going to give you the ingredient list. It's 1.5 cups of the natural, but no stir, creamy peanut butter.
Okay.
So I think Jif makes one.
There's one that's like Simply, or is it natural?
It's natural.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
not
don't have
Simply.
to stir that one. I didn't know. That's great.
Yeah, so there is a natural one that you don't have to stir. It's the one that I use all the time at home.
All
I do
right.
like it. And you do 1/2 cup of honey. I used local honey from Boone Hall, but I do wish I had had some of Farmer Katie's honey, but I'm out. So we got to go with what we can. 1 1/3 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats. Raw oats.
Raw
oats. And then 1/2 cup of vanilla protein powder. I just bought some organic vanilla protein powder at the stove.
At the stove?
At the stove.
All right.
Yeah, I picked some up at our Publix.
Okay.
And then...
Wow, that is a lot of protein.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and protein powder?
Yeah.
Well, that's like a...
It's like a big hit of protein.
Like
I
a
can't
ball.
remember. I did like 12 or 14 grams of protein in a ball.
Wow.
Right. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I didn't put salt in mine. I feel like peanut butter is salty enough.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But there's some people out there that like salt.
Yeah.
You can do the salt. And then you do 1/2 cup of mini dark chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips too?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And they're in miniature.
I love a miniature chip.
So you just put all this stuff in a bowl and you mix it really, really well. I mixed it in stages because it's a lot. And, when you put like the powder in there, you want to make sure it's mixed really well. You don't want a mouthful of powder.
Right.
And then you just take it. I put wax paper on some cookie sheets. And then you take it by like heaping teaspoons, form it into a ball, plop it on your thing.
Okay.
And then you put them in the fridge to let them set. And then once you do, you can just pick them off of there and store them in a container.
Beautiful.
And I store mine in the refrigerator. I think that's the best thing to do just because because the peanut butter tends to get a little soft.
Right.
So I also like them cold.
Yeah.
But they are so convenient when you get up in the morning and you're having a cup of coffee, grab a ball.
Just get a ball.
Yeah.
Start your day with a ball.
If you're having a cup of tea in the afternoon, grab a ball.
Just
grab your balls whenever you feel the need. And your balls are ready to go.
They're very convenient balls.
OctoBalls with extra protein.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my recipe. I'm sticking to it.
That's a home run. Do you know how many balls it makes?
Well, it depends.
Lot of balls?
It makes a right good amount of balls.
Right.
But it depends on how big you like your balls.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to say. For me, I think I got 2 dozen.
Oh, wow. That's perfect.
Balls. Mm-hmm. And mine probably could have been a little bit smaller. So maybe I could have gotten like 2.5 dozen.
Right.
But, and you think, wow, that's a lot, but we need protein. And if you're looking at a 12 gram of protein boost, you could probably eat 2 of those balls a day to add 20 grams of protein to your diet.
I mean, why eat a Reese's peanut butter cup when you can have your own ball? An OctoBall.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and you know what? We're coming up on the holiday season. Get your protein in now. Try to, I'm not saying lose weight. I'm trying to say maintain your weight because Christmas and Thanksgiving are coming when we're going to really load up with all the good food.
Exactly.
So let's do healthy OctoBalls.
Love it. Well done. I mean, you knocked it right out of the park.
I feel like I did. I knocked those balls out of the park.
You go, girl.
Mm-hmm. All right, now it's your turn.
It's
what you
my
got
turn.
to say? What do you have to say for yourself?
Hello, twisted humans. Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting? Then this is the podcast for you. In 1952, there was a record high of UFOs reported. 1,500 sightings. There has been evidence of human sacrifice, devil worship, and it is haunted by more spirits than can be counted. A family of 2 adults and 2 kids reportedly saw a giant flying thing with glowing red eyes.
And meanwhile, the family's nanny that helped Veronica to care for her and Lucian's children was found bludgeoned to death in the basement of their family home. I'm Alecia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked.
Hi, I'm Dan from Casting Views, and you're listening to Karen and Ann on the Sugar-Coated Murders.
I don't talk about any OctoBalls.
Okay.
At all.
You have an OctoMurder?
It's an OctoMurder.
Okay.
An OctoMurder.
OctoMurder.
This murder happened in Bakersfield, California.
I've heard of Bakersfield. I think there's songs that mention Bakersfield.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think there are.
On July 6, 2003, Joni Harper and her mother, Ernestine Harper, took Joni's children, Marquez, 4, Lindsay, 2, and Marshall, 6 weeks, to church.
And I love the name Ernestine.
Ernestine is lovely. It was the first time since Marshall had been born that Joni was going to introduce him to the church congregation.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. My gosh, I love a new baby.
Me too.
Ernestine was living with Joni and helping out with the children because Joni and her husband, Vincent Brothers, were estranged. They had married in 2000, but the marriage had been annulled in 2001 because Vincent couldn't keep it in his pants.
Vincent,
then
keep your OctoBalls to yourself.
Exactly. They reunited and remarried in Las Vegas in 2003 after Joni, became pregnant with Marshall. That Sunday in July was the last time anyone saw Joni Ernestine and the children alive. After not hearing from them...
mother effer.
I know. After not hearing from them for a couple days, a friend went by the house to check on them.
Did they make it to church?
They went to church. They even went to have lunch with some friends after.
Okay.
Yeah. And then nobody heard from them. So this friend said, I'm kind of worried. I'm going to go check on them. She went. The back door was open. She went in and found all 5 of them deceased.
God, it gives me a stomach ache.
Yeah. Some had been shot and stabbed. Others had just been stabbed or shot. Vincent, the estranged husband, was in Ohio for a long July 4th weekend, visiting his brother. They actually found him in North Carolina because he and his brother had driven from North Carolina to Ohio to visit his mom, where they notified him of the death of his family. He did return home on the 11th of July, and he attended a funeral service for his wife, mother-in-law, and 3 children. Ernestine was his mother-in-law. On the 16th of July, but there had been a memorial service for the family that Vincent did not attend. Of course, Vincent was the prime suspect in the case because, he's the spouse and that's what they do.
And they're estranged.
That's right. But he was more than 2,200 miles away when the murders took place.
Was he?
Investigators spoke to hundreds of people about Joni and her relationship with Vincent, who was a vice principal at a local elementary school.
Well, Vincent.
I know. It turns out Vincent had a history of allowing. I don't know why I said that.
There's no allowing?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. He had a history of abusing his wives. Abusing, not allowing.
No, it's way different.
Exactly. It took a whole different turn, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
He'd been married 4 times and had been jailed for spousal abuse in 1988.
And he was an elementary school principal?
Yes.
That's blowing my mind.
It blew mine as well. How did that happen, right?
Somebody's not doing their due diligence.
That was with his first wife that he was jailed for the abuse in 1988. His next wife left him after he threatened to kill her. That marriage lasted a little less than a year. In 1996, Vincent was accused of sexually harassing a woman at the school where he worked. The victim was strongly encouraged not to pursue charges against Vincent because he was a highly respected man in the community.
When are people gonna learn?
I know.
You don't always see the real person.
Correct.
Gee whiz.
The school investigated and they gave Vincent a warning.
And then probably a raise.
Probably. There's a warning.
Here's your warning.
So sorry we were so stern.
Your raise.
Oh my
yes,
God.
Here it is.
So investigators honed in on Vincent. They drive to Ohio to check out the rental car that he said he used while he was on his little vacation.
Can I just say, Ohio?
No.
We haven't said that in a long
We
time.
really haven't.
Sorry, I just got the urge.
Wow, yeah. Way
sorry.
to go. Way to go.
Sorry.
Way to bring it back.
Thanks.
It turns out that he had rented a little Dodge Neon while he was on his trip. He told investigators that he never drove the car anywhere but in Ohio. However, according to the rental company, he managed to tack 4,500 miles onto the odometer.
Yeah, doesn't he know they have a record of the odometer?
Well, he'd been lying for some time about this women and what he was doing to
people
women.
were believing him.
Yeah, because
he
he's
was
so highly respected vice principal of an elementary school.
Hello, rental car agency. I am a highly respected elementary school teacher. So there is no need for you to record any kind of a mileage on this car.
I don't know what happened. It must be some kind of a manufacturer blip.
Ohio is a really big state. I drove 4,500 miles around the town.
It takes a long time to get to the store. That was enough to arrest Vincent on suspicion of murder, but it wasn't enough for them to feel confident that they would get like a big prosecution. Mm-hmm. Not a big prosecution, but guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like they need some kind of
They have to have a hook.
That's right. Some kind of a nail in the coffin. It seemed like Vincent could have possibly made a round trip from Ohio to California
like the
when you look at the mileage, right? But investigators needed the hard evidence. this is where it gets really interesting. While they were investigating that little Dodge Neon, they noticed that the front bumper and grill were covered in dead bugs. I mean, you know how it gets in July. It's hot and you're driving.
And it's buggy.
It's buggy, right? They decided that they were going to touch base with an etymologist. To see if we could figure out where these bugs came from.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
I love that.
So they
love science.
Science is amazing. They took apart the car, got the radiator and the air filter because they seem to have a large concentration of the dead bugs in them. And they took it to the University of California, Davis campus, where the Bohart Museum of Entomology is located.
It's probably not a place I want to go because I'm not a bug fan.
No, but it is.
But fascinating.
One of the largest in the country.
I think that's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
I find that to be fascinating.
And the director of the museum specialized in entomology, and she was a teacher, and she had been doing the study of bugs for over 30 years. So she was very, very knowledgeable. They took apart, they actually went in and they picked the bugs out. They picked the bugs out of the radiator and the air filter.
Sure that was like a technician's job. Not a technician, like a lab assistant.
Student. Yeah. Upon examination, the team identified a large grasshopper.
Okay.
A paper wasp. And some true bugs. True bugs. Yeah, true bugs. Interesting, right? The grasshopper that they found is native to the Great Plains and the eastern slope of the Rocky Mountains. The paper wasp has a center of abundance in California. True bugs are only found in the western part of the country, specifically in Southern California, Arizona, and Utah. Utah. The bugs on the radiator and the air filter gave prosecutors a map. When they go in and they map out where the bugs would have been found.
Then it shows where he traveled.
It surely did.
Oh my God.
It really amazing. Really I love this. It did. Vincent had obviously driven from Ohio to California and back. It was the information prosecutors needed to prove that he had driven and returned the Dodge Neon to California and returned in the Dodge Neon and murdered his family. That evidence, along with the evidence they found in the Harper family home, was enough to convince a jury. On May 15th, 2007, Vincent Brothers was convicted of the first-degree murders of his wife, Joni, his mother-in-law, Ernestine.
How did he do that to
and his three children,
flesh and blood?
Marquez, 4, Lindsay, 2, and Marshall, 6 weeks old. He was sentenced to death, but remember, he's in California, so who knows if he'll ever be put to death.
No, he won't be.
Right.
He won't, because everything got commuted to life without parole when they took away the death.
Yeah, so he'll be hanging out in San Quentin. Ernestine Harper was the co-founder of the Extend a Hand for Justice organization, which is committed to helping feed the poor, clothe the needy, and help find shelter for the homeless, along with visiting the sick and imprisoned. She was a mother of 5 children, a prominent member in her church, and a loving grandmother.
Wow.
Joni Harper was a campus supervisor for the Bakersfield County School District. She was a standout basketball player in high school.
Ooh.
And she went on to become a basketball ref.
Oh, look at her.
She was the first woman in Kern County in California to officiate the boys varsity level.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing? She was a loving mother and faithful Christian. Vincent Brothers had a daughter from a previous relationship. And on the day of his sentencing, she spoke to the court. And she publicly disowned her father.
Oh my gosh. Good for her.
And changed her last name.
I have chills all over. Chills.
She was 18.
Good for her.
The Harper family filed a civil suit against Vincent to recap funeral expenses. And that's something that we don't always think about. But just because you're a murderer doesn't mean that you don't have assets. It's so...
I agree. I think personally,
there would have been...
it should be a law of the land.
Right.
That when you're convicted of murder, your assets go to the victim's family, no questions asked. I don't give a crap.
I agree.
What your assets are. If it's a penny, a pillow, or a mansion, and... whatever. Millions of dollars. If you murder a person,
right,
You take their life. I just think, and it used to be this way way back in like the Wild West days.
Oh.
When you murdered somebody,
you got their stuff.
everything that you had went to the victim's family.
That's nice.
Yes.
It should be that way.
It should be.
But it's not. Instead,
that also was the time when they hanged you for stealing a horse.
Right.
It's fine.
Right. Yeah, but he had assets, and there's life insurance to think about.
Absolutely.
And if he was the beneficiary, then he would have collected all of that money.
As a principal, he would have had a pension.
Yep.
And principals make good money.
Yeah. So the family was not a get-rich scheme for the Harper family. They won their case. It's settled for an undisclosed amount of money. And that family gave all of the money to Vincent's daughter. Because it wasn't about the money, but yes.
Oh my God. That's
I know.
So sweet.
It was the sweetest ever. A very sweet family who got annihilated in the worst of ways.
And I'm just going to say right now, he didn't just take 5 lives. He removed 2 women who were making an impact on their community.
Exactly.
And so once again, we have the ripple effect of murder.
Yeah.
He took away the future of 3 children being raised by 2 really good role models. So we don't even know what successful humans they would have become.
Right.
So he just robbed the world of what these people were doing. These were good people doing good things in the world, and he just extracted them.
He did. He extracted them, and
for what? What was his motive?
The financial burden of having so many children.
Well, hey, keep your OctoBalls in your pants and keep your pants zipped up.
Zip it or clip it.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, it's real simple.
Figure it out, man. Do something. But if you're going to be dipping your stick all around the town...
It wasn't even all around the town. It was his wife.
Right.
It's not like these were these were not like the children you don't speak of.
Exactly.
These were your kids made with your wife.
Exactly.
Like, hello.
Right. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And there was information in some of the articles that I read that he had gotten his brothers to lie about a couple of different things. So on the day that he drove to California, he had one brother take his credit card and go to the store and use it while he was in Ohio.
So they knew they were accomplices.
I felt like they were.
And they weren't prosecuted.
It doesn't seem like it.
That
I couldn't
makes me
find
mad.
any information
They
on
enabled him. If nothing else, charge them with obstruction.
That's what I was thinking too. But and they may have, and I just couldn't find the articles because, it was a while back. But there has to be some accountability there, right? I mean, what did they think he was doing?
They knew what he was doing.
Drive all the way.
I'm going to go have a picnic with my
Ohio.
Yeah, and then I'm going to drive back to California to have a picnic with my estranged wife.
Right. It don't make any sense to me.
No, he's a monster.
A monster indeed.
So he's got life with no parole, I'm assuming.
Life with no parole, and
in
he's
California.
in San Quentin.
Wow.
He's still listed though as death by lethal injection. Like they still list that as his sentence.
Well, I guess that's good, because if a governor was ever elected to California because they can bring the death penalty back. It's
anytime.
Just the stroke of a pen.
Yeah.
He would still be in line for the death sentence.
Yeah.
So,
but listen, something to think about. The bugs on your car. Who'd have thunk it?
I love that science and something as simple as bugs.
I know. It's amazing.
Help to convict him.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because the bugs don't lie.
They don't lie. The bugs
don't lie.
No.
Wow, that was a really good case.
Thank
R.I.P.
you.
to that sweet family.
I
just cannot imagine the fear that they went through, the terror, and those poor children. That's their daddy.
Yeah, the crime scene was brutal.
I can't imagine. That's just awful.
It is terrible.
He's a jerk.
He's worse than that. We're going to have to figure out a different word.
Yeah.
A new word from the...
He's definitely a monster.
Yeah.
But I think he's like an ogre.
Yeah, or a monster ball, an OctoBeast.
An OctoBeast. He's an OctoBeast. And that's the worst of them.
Yes.
The worst. Gosh. Well, that was a good one.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing that and helping us remember that sweet family.
Yes, indeed. That's it. We did it. We've done another episode.
Look at us.
God willing, you'll actually get to hear it.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, we've got some stuff we got some pokers in the fire. So
there's something brewing.
We got something brewing. So stay tuned, because I think it's going to be pretty exciting when we finally get it all together. But we will. So I'm imagining end of this year, beginning of next year, something's going to explode on the podcast front for us.
I think so. I'm hoping toward the end of this year we'll have it rolling out.
Rolling. So until then, practice your YouTube skills. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying this to our audience.
Right. Yeah.
Start practicing your YouTube.
Well, yeah, we can't make any promises though, because we are not technology geniuses.
No, we're not. We
are far from.
No. We are far from technology geniuses.
I'd say at this point, technology failures.
Actually, I think at this point, instead of practicing your YouTube skills, just pray for us.
Say a little prayer.
Just say a little prayer for us while you eat your OctoBall out of the fridge.
That's a great idea.
Well, I think that you all should stay sweet and don't murder.
Because if you kill people, we're going to talk about you.
And we're going to call you things like OctoBoost.
Yeah.
I mean, OctoBeast.
And OctoBoost and OctoBeast.
Yeah.
While we're having an OctoBoost. We don't even know.
I don't know. We're having an OctoBall.
We're having an OctoBust.
Talking about, we are just octoed out. So, on with November.
Hey, listen, email us if you've got a murder you want us to tell.
Yes, we have email. It's murder.sugarcoated@gmail.com. Oh my gosh, we sound like a car commercial. Toyota, we're available. And we have social media galore. Oh, and if y'all have not heard of this new app called Threads, we're on that.
I didn't even know.
We're on Threads. We're on Instagram. We're still on the Twitter. We're hanging there by a thread. And we're on Facebook. So find us everywhere. Drop us an email and just let us know you're listening. Is anybody out there?
Hello.
We would love to know if we have any listeners left. All right, guys. Well, we love you. Stay safe and keep your head on a swivel.
Bye.
This has been Sugar Coated Murder Podcast, a deliciously entertaining true crime podcast. Like what you heard? You can always explore past episodes by visiting sugarcoatedpod.com. Don't forget to like our Facebook fan page and share with friends. Thanks for listening to Sugar Coated Murder Podcast.
Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries, plus napkins, plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.